Welcome to Asian E Endurance Series Season 2 interview segment. I'm your host, Zachary Moselle. Today, we'll be talking to
Amir Haziq. Who is Amir Haziq?
Okay, that's kind of like asking in the third person, but yes. Well, I can safely say Amir Haziq is a guy who's passionate about cars since a very young age, and he got himself involved with pretty much real life motorsport for a while, but then after that decided to take up a path of sim racing, which is like one of the best things that could ever happen, especially with the fact that so many tournaments happened around the time when sim racing started to flourish. And then after the pandemic, still managed to get involved still is considered quite a nice thing to have, actually, especially with the fact that it's quite hard to come by sometimes opportunities, So to be involved, especially with something like an actual esports team, like with Alex Young's team, with commentary and then doing a lot of media stuff. So it's considered like a blessing in disguise that, in a way, the pandemic has actually opened up these opportunities.
What got you all excited about e-racing?
Pretty much like when I actually was entering college. I've been off the game for quite a few years, especially the fact that I didn't really start full time, like this kind of sim racing thing that's like a profession around 2013, actually. Prior to that, I played single player games, like started off with F1 EA Sports' 2000 game, the Championship Edition one on PC, which was, to me, one of the best games I ever played. And played on with the other EA Sports F1 games and then dallied with other games after that. But then kind of stopped because focusing on studies and trying to think about the future. Ironically, in hindsight, the future now looks a bit bleak. But yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say, because like we were taught to like focus on the books and try to study for the future, but then the future we couldn't foresee how it looked this week. So yeah, after that, between that period, after I finished my primary and secondary, went to college, is when I started sim racing game, because I had a motorsports club there that did a Gran Turismo tournament, then won that one and joined their motorsports club, and after that just pretty much became part of the motorsports fraternity again in terms of sim racing and real racing, because we did go-karting, we did sim racing too. So yeah, along the lines then met a few people in the sim racing industry like Ayman Hakim. That's pretty much where I started off this whole thing, basically going like, not to say completely pro, but really heavily involved in the activity and the hobby as well. So yeah, that's kind of how it started in around 2013, 14.
So you consider yourself semi-pro, or are you pro now?
I mean, like, based on that, maybe pro, I guess, because you can see like above there, it's like, I don't know if it can be seen clearly, but it's actually the mark check is on the one on the left of the screen here.
Okay.
Or because I'm in reverse camera, so it might be on the right. So yeah. And then yeah. So you get the idea. Like the one that's the furthest one there is actually the RGP one that I won in 2019, finishing third. We got some international press coverage there, and on the right of it, or left for the camera, whichever works, is the one that I got for the Singapore Grand Prix, where it was a competition held by a local radio station. Won the competition and then got an all expenses paid trip to the Singapore West Grand Prix in 2018. So maybe you can consider pro. I mean, not as good as the drivers in the championship, obviously, because my results really don't reflect that. But I would safely say that maybe, yeah, pro, but around maybe just underneath the alien level, maybe, because I'm still trying to get to work to get around that level, to be honest.
You're talking about some real race experience. Would you like to talk more about that?
The real race experience is like, I didn't really go into karting, like for example, if you interview Amir Haziq already, he did do road tags prior to this. I didn't do that. I was just involved in the motorsports in a way, like it's like a enthusiast level, like every other day, like when I was younger, went to go karting and found out that one day that I couldn't do it because I was actually car sick at that time.
Ooh,
I'm not car sick now. Yeah, when I was younger, so I felt like, yeah, this is not the path for me. And my mom was quite concerned about me going into motorsports anyway, because of that getting involved in a serious superbike accident. So motorsports in the bike one, no. In the four wheels one, because I was car sick, so it was not really a feasible step anyway.
How would you rate your overall performance for round 4?
I mean, it's not like I don't like the NSU TTS, but it's just that the drivers in that field were just so quick with that car. So they're like, yep, I'm staying at the back. I'm about 2 seconds lap slower. It's like there's no chance chasing these guys. Even up in the front, just the braking of the car just feels awkward. It's like the TCR, the way you brake, but much worse. It literally locks up the moment you jab on the brakes. And I'm on really bad pedals right now, the G29 pedals. It's been 4 years I've been using them, so they've gone off the cliff real quickly. And the moment I just press on it, stomp it, it just locks up. So yeah, it's not the best equipment to drive with those cars, especially with how sensitive they are on the brakes.
Do you find the format run by AeES challenging?
I would say very, because the challenging part is the time management, and also the contact with the drivers can be quite severe. In fact, I think my name has popped up quite a few times of being knocked out because of disqualification due to contacts, and it's because sometimes it's not through the fault your own. The contact, it happens because the cars are happy to be that close, especially TCR, the wheel to wheel banging. It just happens all the time, so it can't be avoided. But even the most minute collisions, like for me, it was just a slight contact. I was on 35, 34 anyway, but that one contact was enough to send me out of the race. So it was quite frustrating to be out that way, but be out because of that. But it kind of happens because it's racing. It is quite tough to race against these guys, especially the fact that they're going out for all the points. But I would say that it might be fair to a certain extent, especially sometimes that with the mystery round, and then you increase the incident points because of that. It actually will help out with the racing as well. So I think, on the whole, pretty okay.
Will we be seeing you on the 25th of July for the final round? It's Suzuka Circuit.
Yeah. I just only I'm not I'm not anywhere near the 50 points threshold, so I just say why not just have fun for the sake of it, because it is a fun round of the season. It's some of the championship runners are going to be going all out, so not going to be bothered with the stuff now. I'm just going to be focused on my own race. I don't want to be the guy that spoils the championship contenders. So that's all I'm saying. I just want to have my own race, have it clean, and just finish on a high, actually.
Hope to speak to you more in the future, and maybe perhaps when you get your head around the madness and everything starts to seem sane to you, you come back with a bit of a vengeance. I'll say that.
Yeah, maybe a podium or ruin or two, who knows? But that will be like have to practice more for these kind of like touring car racing. It's a different discipline and different ball game altogether. So yeah.
And I hope I'll see you soon. All right, you take care then. Cheers.
All right, you too, man. Cheers.
All right, bye.